Hey there, this is Matt once again, and welcome back to another video. This time, just talking about the movie news, uh, some other movie trailers that I've seen, Comic-Con, there's been announcements, things of that nature. So to get right into it, I mentioned this briefly before, but a little bit more in depth. The trailer to Top Gun 2, aka Top Gun Maverick. Because I've had few people ask me about it. I enjoyed it. I didn't grow up with the first Top Gun, but I saw it a few times when I was a kid, and I liked the film. But the sequel looked really good. I liked the new mix of the Top Gun theme. It was a well-edited trailer. I like the way it's being shot. The fighter pilot sequences were really Tom Cruise is really in a fighter plane. And you see it lift off, and you see it in the sky, and doing seems like Mission Impossible Fallout, which had some crazy sequences, like when his character was in a helicopter, was sort of like a build-up for this movie. And it makes me curious as to what other scenes of that nature will be in the movie. So, Top Gun 2, definitely interested in it. Let's see. As for other trailers, before I get into other movie news, just to remind myself, I already talked about Jay and Silent Bob reboot, which I know I've had quite a few people pissed at me because I didn't like the trailer. I still don't like the trailer. I still don't think it's funny. Playing with fire, more like fire crotch, because it smells like a bunch of balls in your face. With John Cena and Keegan Michael Key. Keegan Michael Key must have just said, you know what, my buddy Jordan Peele won an Oscar, so hey, I can't do better than that, so let me just do a bunch of shitty movies like The Predator or this Playing with Fire crotch. It's ridiculous. The Kingsman, like I said, I don't know why you need a prequel to The Kingsman. Why not just a part 3? I don't give a fuck about how The Kingsman got started. Door and Lost City of Gold, whatever. I did see Stuber. I didn't review it. I saw it at the same time I saw Crawl. I didn't review it because it's not an awful movie. It's one of those that you can watch maybe on Netflix if you have Netflix or on cable. Batista's really good. It was R-rated. But the other guy, I don't know the guy's name, he was annoying as hell. I wish they had gotten someone else to, like, Batista's great. I would say if you can see Stuber for very, very cheap or for free, watch it for Batista because Dave Batista was the really fun in that movie. But the other guy, that's why I didn't do a review because I didn't have much to say. But Stuber, I mean, the other guy was the problem. Uh, One other trailer to mention is one called Don't Let Go, which I'm very intrigued by after seeing the trailer. Because Don't Let Go has a really neat concept where it's like Frequency, but a new take on Frequency, a little bit more of an action movie take on Frequency, which is a very underrated film with Dennis Quaid and Jim Caviezel. But this one, the main character, I believe he's the uncle, and parts of his family, like his sister and his niece, they're murdered. And then I guess like a few weeks later, he gets a phone call, and it's his niece. I believe it's his niece. I could be wrong. Daughter or niece. And she is alive because it's where she's at. It's 2 weeks ago, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So it kind of reminds me a little bit also of there's this pretty decent film called The Lake House with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, which is more of a romantic movie. But just the idea of, wait a minute, I can talk to you and you're weeks before me, you're still alive, maybe I can talk to you and change fate. Idea, kind of like a different take on frequency, which the trailer did a better job of selling it than I am. But Don't Let Go, they're definitely curious about it, definitely intrigued about it. It looked pretty good. So Don't Let Go, I definitely look forward to. A lot more than the Jacob's Ladder remake or any of this other crap. Let's see, movie news. Okay, yeah, Comic-Con released a bunch of info. Like the MCU released their stuff. They're doing another Blade film, but they recast Blade because they feel that Wesley Snipes is too old and he hasn't done much in a long time other than Expendables 3. So he's old hat, so we need a new guy to be Blade. Which is BS, but I mean, hell. It's like when they did the Punisher TV show on Netflix. I'm like, why could you not just get Thomas Jane back as the Punisher and skip the origin and just have Thomas Jane as the Punisher and start do a TV show of that. Same thing with you, like, why can't you just have Wesley Snipes as Blade, but no. So I don't recognize this guy. I guess he won an Oscar. Like, the fuck does it matter whether you won an Oscar? It's Blade. You're playing a superhero half vampire who kills vampires. Mahershala Ali. Who gives a fuck about that? Like, what does that have to do with fucking being Blade? So, yeah, that whole thing is stupid to me. What the hell has this guy done? I don't, I don't even know what he won an Oscar for. Yeah, they're like, well, Snipes is 56 years old, so he's too old for the part. Because here's the thing, is that when they make these characters, they want them to be there for a while. So, to me, then just don't do another Blade thing. I mean, yeah, whatever. As for other Marvel films, Phase 4, as they call it, you have Black Widow, which takes place between, I guess, Civil War and Avengers Infinity War. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. I mean, it's not like, oh, I wonder if she's going to die. I mean, it's a prequel. That's technically what it is, a prequel. You know what's going to happen to her. And I'm not interested in a Black Widow movie. I'm really not. Especially when it's like, this is the fucking, this is what you're doing? Really? So I don't give a shit about Black Widow movie. You also have Eternals, which I don't know what the hell that is. A bunch of stuff for their Disney Plus, like WandaVision, so Scarlet Witch and the Vision, which I thought Vision was dead, but I guess not. They have a show on Disney Plus, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which that's one thing I don't understand about Falcon being Captain America. don't you need to have super strength to wield that shield? Because you gotta throw it, which is going to be pretty tough without super strength. And then to be able to catch it, and I don't know. I mean, I like Anthony Mackie, so technically I would prefer him. Because the guy who plays Winter Soldier is fine, but I like Anthony Mackie more as an actor. It's just, they haven't really done much with Falcon for him to earn that, but hey, what do I know? Other movies, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Who the fuck is Shang-Chi? Like, who the fuck is Shang-Chi? I've never even heard of that fucking character. But Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, despite all the other heroes in the MCU, that's the guy who gets his own movie, Shang-Chi? Again, like, who the fuck is Shang-Chi? Like, fuck, I mean, why not do Namor with Donnie Yen or something? Since Aquaman was so successful, but no, Shang-Chi. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, that's the one superhero movie I'm curious about because the same director who did Doctor Strange is coming back. He also did the underrated Deliver Us from Evil. Number two, I really enjoyed Doctor Strange a lot to the point it's become one of my favorite MCU films. And number three, they said it's going to be a horror movie. Now, yeah, it's not going to be R-rated, of course not. But there are good horror films that are rated R. I mean, Poltergeist, the original Poltergeist, Tremors, what is it? The Final Girls. 3 different types of horror films. One's a slasher film, which even then I'm like, it should have been R-rated. But I still like The Final Girls a lot. Creature Feature, Tremors, and A Ghost Story, Poltergeist. None of them were rated R, but they're still good films. So the fact that they're making a Doctor Strange movie that's going to be a horror film, they said it's going to be a horror film, and then it's the same director who did the first one, the same actors coming back to be Doctor Strange. I'm curious about that. I'm very, very intrigued by that. The fact it'd be a horror film, which then I'm like, then why the fuck didn't you release the New Mutants if you're going to do horror? But maybe it's because we didn't make it. But I do look forward to that. Because definitely curious about that. Also, Thor: Love and Thunder, which apparently Natalie Portman's coming back, and she's going to be a female Thor. I'm like, what? Natalie Portman? That character as a female Thor? I mean, and that's a shitty title. Thor: Love and Thunder sounds like an '80s song, but what the hell do I know? Let's see. Scream Factory, aka Shout Factory, I'll go into that. At Comic-Con, they released a bunch of titles. Well, they announced a bunch of titles. First, a couple from Shout Factory. A collector's edition of The Wizard, which I don't mind The Wizard. Maybe if it has a ton of interesting features, maybe I would give it a look, but if not, it's not a film I need to own on Blu-ray. Also, Twins, which is cool because that's one of the few Arnold Schwarzenegger films that did not have a Blu-ray. Well, True Lies as well. But Twins was one of those movies. How come that doesn't have a Blu-ray, but Shout Factory's putting one out? I doubt it's going to have any features, but it's cool. Twins finally get a Blu-ray. And then they see a collector's edition of Brewster's Millions with Richard Pryor, which I'm confused about. I liked the film. I reviewed the film when I did my John Candy marathon, but I'm thinking, why are you calling it a collector's edition? Who the fuck are you going to get to... I guess Walter Hill Walter Hill will be like the only guy you could talk to. Because Richard Pryor's no longer with us. John Candy's no longer with us. Stephen Collins is a fucking pedophile. I guess maybe the lead, I forget the actress's name, maybe her? Or is what, some production manager? Like, it's weird that that's the collector's edition, apparently, Brewster's Millions. I'm like, really? How many features can you get out of that? I just mainly made Walter Hill. But I mean, I like the film. Granted, there's other Richard Pryor films I would pick. I mean, like, well, See No Evil, Hear No Evil has a Blu-ray. But, like, Bustin' Loose, or even The Toy. And John Candy, I mean, I would have put, Summer Rental. Oh, T. Brewster's Million is cool. Twins, look forward to that. Now, Stream Factory, they announced about 14 titles. Now, the ones I don't give a shit about, The Abominable Snowman from 1957, Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, The Fan from 1981, which I'm not a fan of. I think that's one of the weakest films with Michael Biehn. The Fly Collection, which, has the Fly films from the 50s and 60s, and then has David Cronenberg's The Fly and The Fly 2. I mean, I would like The Fly and The Fly 2, but I don't give a shit about the older Fly films, and I'm sure it's going to be a bit of money. I'm not paying that money just to get The Fly and The Fly 2 on Blu-ray. I think they are released separately somewhere, I believe, so. Let's Dear Jessica to Death, never saw. Prophecy, 1979. It's an okay film, but I don't need it on Blu-ray. Dracula with Frank Langella from 1979. Never saw the film. Universal Horror Collection, which has The Black Cat, Man-Made Monster, Tower of London, Horror Island. Don't care. That reaction for me would be Silver Bullet. Stephen King's Silver Bullet has a collector's edition coming out, which I already have the Blu-ray from Umbrella, so unless the features are new and amazing, I'll just stick with my Umbrella Entertainment because, again, I do have the Blu-ray. Road Games Collector's Edition, great movie, love Road Games. Again, I already have the Blu-ray from Umbrella Entertainment, so it's like, again, unless the features are insane, I'll just keep my Umbrella Blu-ray. But hey, that's a great title, deserves a Blu-ray in the US. Just technically, Umbrella is Australian. Pet Sematary 2 Collector's Edition. That's cool. I like the sequel. Collector's Edition, again, it's like who you don't get to talk about. I guess Mary Lambert. But, yeah, I mean, that's cool. Again, I like Pet Sematary 2. The three that have me the most curious about. Big Trouble in Little China. Which, again, I do have the Blu-ray of it from overseas. Someone was nice enough to send it to me. But when they say this is going to be the definitive release, and it's a 2-disc set, a 2-disc set of Big Trouble in Little China? If they do like a new documentary like they did for John Carpenter's The Thing, if they could like get, I don't know, Dennis Dunn, where the hell he's at, I'm not holding my breath on it. But I'm very curious to see, because that's a very beloved title. So that seems like a movie they're going to put a lot of eggs into the basket. I am curious what the features will be on that. And these two were the best. Body Parts, finally Body Parts with Jeff Fahey is getting a Blu-ray. It's an underrated flick. Love the film. It's only been on DVD. I don't know if it'll have features. Bad Moon did. It was another Eric Red. I will guarantee Eric Red. Well, I can't guarantee anything, but I'm damn sure Eric Red will talk about the film because he talked about Bad Moon. There's a good chance Jeff Fahey will talk about because he did the Lawnmower Man interview. So I'm sure he'd be willing to talk about Body Parts. So if I guess you don't get an interview with Jeff Fahey, an interview with Eric Red, and then maybe the deleted scenes that you can view separately. Because Bad Moon had some decent features, so Body Parts I definitely look forward to. And My Bloody Valentine, the 1981 film, a 2-disc collector's edition. Now, when it says 2-disc, I don't know if that means they're going to have the uncut version and then the cut version, or if it's going to be the uncut version and then the features. But that's a film that, the Blu-ray is out of print. I never got a chance to get the Blu-ray. Now I'm glad I didn't because of this. The fact it'll be a 2-disc. That's a film that screams for more features because the Lionsgate DVD, it had maybe a 10, 15-minute featurette, and half of it was about the remake. Here, to have all the bells and whistles of that classic slasher film, one of my personal favorite slasher films, but the fact that's getting a 2-disc collector's edition, I highly look forward to that. So I will say, as for right now, Scream Factory, I've been pleasantly surprised by. I gotta be honest. I gotta tip my hat to them. You got The Blob coming out in October. Here's hoping the features are good. Please somehow get Kevin Dillon for that. Please. I'm not holding my breath. I'm about 95% sure they won't get him. Because Kevin Dillon doesn't seem like he really talked about older stuff. But it would be nice. But it's nice that's getting one. Body Parts, Big Trouble in China, My Bloody Valentine. Also, it seems like they're doing Paramount stuff. Because Brewster's Millions, I believe, was Paramount. I believe. My Bloody Valentine at one point was Paramount. Body Parts, that's definitely Paramount. So, for the future, I'm hoping for a couple things. Number one, that by April, they'll do April Fool's Day. Hoping. Because if they got Paramount, someone had told me, oh yeah, they said that they have a lot more coming out, in the pipeline. I'm hoping one of them is April Fool's Day. And that they're going to save it for April. Second thing I hope for is if with Shout Factory, or even with Scream Factory, because they got Big Trouble in Little China, do the other 1986 film that dealt with the mystic arts and comedy. And that's The Golden Child. They probably released that with Shout Factory, not Scream Factory, but Shout Select, that stuff. I hope they do The Golden Child. Granted, there's not going to be any features because who's going to talk about the film? Eddie Murphy hates the film. The director's passed away. And if they did features, they just talk about how shitty it is. So, but here's hoping that if they're able, so My Bloody Valentine, Body Parts, Really look forward to those. Big Little China, I'm very curious about. The other stuff, I mean, sure, Pet Cemetery 2, Silver Bullet, Road Games. I don't know if I'd have the money for all those, but sure, I mean, I'd be curious about them. But, I gotta say, Scream Factory, nice job. Nice job. Gotta give credit where credit is due. As for other movie news, if I look on here, okay. Quentin Tarantino says that his Star Trek movie would be like Pulp Fiction in space during an interview with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I don't know if that film will actually happen because I have a feeling if that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood will bomb because of its extreme running time, and that will make Star Trek guys have cold feet. Kind of like when Warner Brothers, they got cold feet when Live by Night didn't do well, and that was written by Ben Affleck. And so, no, you can't write direct Batman anymore, Ben Affleck. Maybe that won't, because, hey, it's Tarantino, so... And Star Trek's a more popular name. So maybe that won't be the case, but I'm just saying, if that did happen, don't be surprised. Doctor Strange 2 is the MCU's first horror movie. Like I said, that makes me curious about that. Uh, Superman Red Sun animated movie announced. I don't know much about the comic other than I believe it dealt with like Superman in Russia or something. If he raised in Russia instead of the U.S., yeah, I could be wrong. Yeah, they're going to do a Blade movie with this new guy. Let's see. Sorry, I'm being silent. I'm looking through the other pieces of info. Scarlet Witch will also be in Doctor Strange 2. Okay. Shang-Chi. I don't know who the hell that is. Avengers Endgame officially passes Avatar as biggest movie of all time. Yeah, but that doesn't account for inflation. Black Panther 2 confirmed, of course. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 confirmed, of course. Marvel confirms X-Men are coming to the MCU. Well, of course, they got Fox. Captain Marvel 2 confirmed, of course. MCU confirmed that they're going to do a Fantastic Four movie, of course. Zack Snyder doing a Netflix zombie movie called Army of the Dead starring Dave Bautista. That I am interested in. Zack Snyder, yeah, but his best film to me was the Dawn of the Dead remake. So the fact he's coming back to do an R-rated zombie film, And then Dave Bautista's the star, and I'm really starting to like Dave Bautista a lot because I really enjoyed Final Score. He was the best part of Stuber, like I said. He's good in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. It's just the writing for him, especially in the second one, was pretty lame or weaker. But Dave Bautista does a good job, so I'm very interested in that. There's all these hints about, oh, Zack Snyder images, they show what happened in his cut. Part of me, I am surprised that they didn't announce that Zack Snyder's Justice League cut coming soon. I am surprised because there's been so many hints in the past few weeks. But I don't know. I don't know if that ever happened. They probably think, well, this is a movie that didn't do well, so we're gonna put all our money into this. I don't know. Sad to say, I'd actually be curious to see Zack Snyder's cut for Justice League because alternate cuts are interesting to me. Uh, let's see. Blumhouse announces Halloween sequels, which is I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I told when 2018 came around, I said there's going to be new Halloween sequels, and people didn't believe me. They thought I was full of it, and lo and behold, not only do you have one, but two more coming. One called Halloween Kills, and the other called Halloween Ends. Those have to be titles that they're going to change. Because titles do change a lot, especially when they're a year or two away. Because there's no way that you can release a Halloween film called Halloween Kills, and another one called Halloween Ends. Well, they can do anything, so I guess I would not be surprised if those do become the official titles. Let's see. Terminator Dark Fate. Fuck the movie. I think that's all I got. I mean, they're just going to Terminator Dark Fate, and when you go into that, it's just done. But Dark Fate is the franchise. Either way, thanks for watching. Definitely some stuff to look forward to. I mean, Blu-ray releases, like I said, of Body Parts, The Blob, uh, My Bloody Valentine, Big Trouble in Little China, some movies like Don't Let Go. I'm also curious about Ad Astra, Gemini Man, Doctor Sleep, Angel Has Fallen, that Doctor Strange sequel in a few years. That's going to be a horror movie. That's intriguing to me. So we'll see what happens. And again, if Scream Factory has Paramount now, here's hoping they get some of those Paramount titles like The Golden Child or April Fool's Day. And also, can some company release some of the films that are stuck on VHS? Like Murder by Phone, aka Bells with Richard Chamberlain, Nightlife, aka Grave Misdemeanors with Scott Grimes, Blue Monkey with Steve Railsback. I mean, there's others. The Keep, which that's rights issues, or I don't know if it's rights issues or the music from Tangerine Dream or the fucking director, Michael Mann, being a dick, or all three. I don't know. Rad. When the fuck is Rad going to get a DVD, Blu-ray, anything? Is it because of the soundtrack? I can only assume that's why. I remember there's like a documentary someone did on Rad that never came out either. Was it anything to do with Rad? Just never comes out? I mean, I could go on, but anyway, thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you in the next one later.